Are you ready for some father-son bonding in the final frontier? Well, you better be, because Star Trek, The Sons of Star Trek is coming soon. This is a new comic series that will explore the lives and adventures of some of the most iconic sons of the franchise, and how they followed, or didn't follow, their father's footsteps. In this video, we'll tell you everything we know about Star Trek. Sons of Star Trek plot. The storyline centers around none other than Jake Sisko and Alexander Rozhenko, the sons of notable characters Benjamin Sisko and Worf, respectively. In the aftermath of the Day of Blood event, both sons find themselves grappling with their identities and destinies. You won't believe what happens next. The plot thickens as they are plunged into an alternate universe, wherein they follow in their father's footsteps more explicitly, each joining Starfleet and serving aboard the U.S.S. Burton. In this alternate reality, they encounter other offspring of Star Trek characters, including the one and only Nog and Q Junior. There's also a tease about the possibility of Jean-Luc Picard and Beverly Crusher's recently revealed son, Jack, making his comic book debut in this series. Here's the official synopsis. In the aftermath of Kahless's harrowing Day of Blood, Jake Sisko struggles to find his place in the universe now that his family has been reunited, and his father, Benjamin Sisko, has once again saved the galaxy. Meanwhile, Alexander Rozhenko is recovering mentally and emotionally from his time as one of Kahless's devout followers. Although his father, Worf, was able to break him away from the Red Path cult, Alexander is haunted by his actions during the bloody coup and is unsure of his ability to atone for the devastation he caused. Jake and Alexander find their stories intertwined as they're thrust into an alternate universe where they followed their father's footsteps into Starfleet stardom. As officers aboard the U.S.S. Burton, Jake and Alexander encounter alternate versions of other children of Starfleet legends who show them they all may have a bit more in common than it would seem. The creative team behind this series. They include writer Morgan Hampton, who previously wrote Cyborg for DC, and veteran Star Trek comics artist, the one and only Angel Hernandez. Living the dream, Morgan Hampton's passion for Star Trek. Writer Morgan Hampton clearly has a deep passion and love for Star Trek. He describes the franchise as having rewired my DNA and providing him comfort amongst its characters and stories. After getting his start through the Milestone Initiative Talent Development Program and rebooting Cyborg for DC, Hampton is thrilled to now contribute to the Star Trek universe. It's a dream come true, he says, to be able to add a wrinkle in the fabric of this incredible universe. For this new Star Trek comic series, Hampton promises to create a story full of shock, excitement, and wonder, led by characters not usually in the spotlight. But he says fans both new and old will still find that familiar Star Trek charm at the heart. It's exciting when creative talent who genuinely love these worlds get to play in them. Hampton's passion for Star Trek seems certain to result in memorable new stories and perspectives. His collaboration with artist Angel Hernandez will bring lesser-known characters to the forefront. Artist Angel Hernandez is also thrilled to work on Sons of Star Trek and put his creative stamp on these iconic characters. Defining new personalities and making the characters face completely new situations is incredible, he says. It's all new, but it's all Trek. Hernandez recognizes the creative opportunity and challenge of depicting established characters like Jake Sisko and Nog in fresh, unexpected ways. This new series will showcase the characters in situations we've never seen before. By taking the characters out of their comfort zones, Hernandez can explore different facets of their personalities. Jake in a Starfleet uniform or Alexander fighting for redemption makes for compelling storytelling. Hernandez is energized by the prospect of reinventing these characters while still keeping the core spirit of Star Trek intact. As he says, it may be all new stories, but the characters and themes will still feel reassuringly familiar. Both Hampton and Hernandez are clearly enthusiastic about shaking up the status quo in a franchise they love. Their passion for putting a new spin on Star Trek shines through in every dynamic page the Sons of Trek lead characters and what we should expect. The 4-issue comic follows the children of some of Star Trek's most famous characters as they get caught up in a strange new alternate reality. You won't want to miss seeing these legacy characters thrust into brand new adventures. Jake Sisko struggles with his father's return. One of the main characters is Jake Sisko, son of Deep Space Nine's Captain Benjamin Sisko. Jake finally got what he always wished for, the return of his long-lost father. But their reunion hasn't been the fairy tale ending Jake imagined. With Sisko so busy on new missions, they haven't really reconnected. Jake feels aimless and emotionally exhausted. He spent years mourning his dad and raising his little sister Sarah. Now he doesn't know what to do with himself. Jake just wants to keep his family together, but he harbors complicated feelings about his dad's return. Rebuilding their relationship won't be easy. Alexander Rozhenko seeks redemption. Another lead character is Alexander Rozhenko, son of the Klingon warrior Worf. Alexander recently escaped the fascist Klingon cult, the Red Path, but he feels tremendous guilt over the atrocities he committed while part of the group. Alexander is haunted by his actions and unsure how to move forward. He hit rock bottom after losing the sense of belonging the Red Path offered. Now Alexander must find a new path and determine if he can ever atone for his mistakes. An alternate reality tests the next generation. In the new series, Jake, Alexander, and their friend Nog get pulled into a strange alternate universe. Here, they join the crew of the U.S.S. Avery and don Starfleet uniforms for the first time. You'll be shocked to see Alexander and Jake become Starfleet officers. This is something they never aspired to in their own reality. In this universe, the Federation is gripped in a devastating war. Jake and Alexander will struggle to navigate this harsh new world. They'll also encounter alternate versions of familiar faces, further testing their resolve. Q's son stirs up trouble. One character sure to cause chaos is Q's son, nicknamed QJ. We last saw him as a rebellious youth nearly turned into an amoeba by the Continuum. Now QJ wants to shake things up in his own way, but he can't fully escape Q Society's influence. QJ will bring plenty of comedic relief to the tense situation, but he also harbors deeper issues that will be revealed. It will be entertaining to see QJ bounce off Jake, Alexander, and Nog. A new crew takes the helm. The intrepid crew of the U.S.S. Avery includes some exciting characters. We'll see Beckett Mariner from Star Trek. Lower Decks join the crew. This marks her comic debut outside the Lower Decks series. Hampton teases that the rest of the crew is a crazy mix you won't see coming. He can't believe they let him throw all these characters together. Major changes in store. This miniseries will push the characters in new directions. We'll explore long-neglected emotions and see how they handle extreme situations. Jake, Alexander, and the others will face existential crises and shocks across the alternate reality. It will be intense, but hopefully they come out the other end ready to live their best lives. What more you need to know about the upcoming Star Trek comic? The Star Trek team certainly piqued our interest when they unveiled some tantalizing details about the upcoming Star Trek, the Mirror War comic miniseries. But they didn't spill all the beans. They provided just enough of a sneak peek to leave fans excited for what's to come. Specifically, they revealed a couple of variant covers that feature not only the sons of Star Trek icons James T. Kirk and Spock, Jake Sisko and Alexander, but also Morgan and Q Junior, the son of the omnipotent Q. Another jaw-dropping cover showed Alexander standing in a Federation jail cell, while a despondent Jake sits outside the prison. An equally astonishing character design sheet displayed the series' 4 main protagonists, all decked out in sleek Starfleet uniforms. It seems the Mirror War will center around family dynamics and legacy, albeit in an adventurous sci-fi setting. The covers indicate some kind of conflict or wrongful imprisonment, and with the mischievous Q Junior involved, who knows what kind of chaos awaits. You won't want to miss how this intergalactic family affair plays out, so be sure to check out Star Trek, The Mirror War, when it debuts. This comic is shaping up to be an absolute must-read for Trekkies. Fans are never left behind on this news, and one said, "I was disappointed that this was for a comic." I'm fine with it, but you know what we are all waiting for is #StarTrekLegacy, which should do a lot of what this sets out to do. though Legacy should be more expansive to include people like Kiriyoshi and Molly O'Brien, Joseph Sisko, Naomi Wildman, and the creation of new chars like theoretically a child, if possible, which it should be, of Bashir and Ezri, the grown Toral Duras as an enemy and becoming a powerful force in the Empire, etc., etc., etc. We just need the story to be correctly continued. Another fan took us back to child fights as he said, "My dad can beat up your dad." Jake to Q Junior. As we await for the comic to be available on our shelves, you will be interested in Star Trek. Lower Decks, Season 5 teaser, 2024, is going to change everything.